Right, okay, I'm back. I think I thought I might as well go back live. Am I live again? Because I'm not previewing myself right now, so I don't know. I need to get my camera lined up properly. Hang on. Yeah, good, right, okay. This flipping light won't stay put. Well, I'm putting the PTC fuse in right now. I'm just actually soldering that. Well, I didn't think. Tried to compete with two other live streams with Rust being on and Z being on. I thought, well, I'm not going to compete. You know, I don't like competing. But since everybody's disappeared, yeah. So I had a bit of a job actually soldering the sockets in because the heat sinking effect of this large area of copper that was soaking up all the heat from my soldering iron, so it got a bit blobby, but never mind. I had to move my iron around because it was soaking. That's exactly what the copper's supposed to do. It's supposed to soak heat up, act as a heat sink. So anyway, I'm just doing the PTC fuse, and that one it's not quite done yet. That one. I've got the regulator in as well, which I forgot to put in earlier. It's actually not far off. It's nearly done. It's nearly finished, really. There's not much more. There's the capacitors to put in, and I thought about these other sockets which I put there, and I thought, well, I'm not going to waste my sockets on those positions. That's only a test point anyway. So I decided not to put a socket in there, but I can later if I want to. But it's just a waste of a good socket when I could be using it for something I'm going to use a lot. There's another socket there which is for the for running a battery on it. And I thought, well, no, I'm not going to waste a socket on there either for now. If I want one, I can put one in. But as you can see, I'm getting a bit thin on sockets. You know, so the black ones I'm down to 3 now. So I thought I just don't want to be putting sockets in just for the hell of it, you know. So it's really mainly capacitors and well, mainly capacitors plus the output transistors, and I've got to make a heatsink as well. So yeah, we're not far off. I've got the switch in as well. Soldered that. I think I might as well put this one in as well. I think I've got the pins in the right pitch. Anyway, I could stick this one in, but it's quite a high voltage one. This really. I might stick one of the other types of 110s in there. I'm running my solar battery. I'm running my soldering iron on the solar battery right now, so I don't like running it down. I might stick one of the liquid also 110s in here actually, because yeah, because I like this green one. It's good for my proto board. I haven't got many of these. Yeah, I have got some 100N polyesters which would do for there. I've got the socket soldered in. Yeah, I remember I had some 100Ns, the smaller ones, so I think I'll stick one of those in there. I'll just have a quick look a minute. Where's that capacitor box gone? Right, okay. Right, here we go. There's some 100Ns in here which would do for that. Just find. Right, one of these little ones would do for that. Let's have a look. Let's make sure this is alright. Oh, that's a 10N. Oh. Actually, while I've got it out, I need to clean up these legs up because they're covered in solder. It's only a 10N this one, but I'm gonna find a 100 one, 100N one. I think that's another 10N. Yeah. It's brown, black, yellow that I'm wanting. There we go. Let's see if that one. Oh, these legs are a bit short. Damn it. I'll find something with a longer legs. Or I could use something like one of these yellow ones, because let's see, I think that might be. I think that's 100N. Magnifying glass, where's that from? Yeah, that's even better because it's 63 volts, so you don't straighten the legs on it though, they're really bent. That would work great. I don't need a high voltage capacitor in there. So I'm going to stick that one in. And it fits really well actually. The leg spacing is just right. There's just a bit of crud on the pin. I'll get it lined up. I haven't quite got the pins lined up properly yet. There we go. That's good low profile as well. It's not a huge standing out thing. I'll just get that soldered in. It's just basically to smooth out the spiky bits on the waveform. That one is. I'll get this one soldered. I'll make sure it's in properly as well. Push it and then solder the other leg. Again, it's a large ground plane section, so it takes quite a bit of heat on there. Right, that's that in. Well, so much for the Schubert impersonators on these IRC chat. I wonder who that person was. Well, I might as well get this one in because actually that's another 100. 100 and actually that's for the oscillators. Should be good enough with these. I'm going to get that one soldered in too while I'm at it. It's going to lay down a little bit, this one. Oh hi, are you watching? Right, I'm just going to push that capacitor flat so that it heat that up again. hope Z's coming back. I assume he's gone to have something to eat. And we have this other capacitor, which is you know, the yellow one actually, and this one's forgotten now. This is a 10N, and this one goes up here. Oops. Chuff's got loads of new secrets to divulge, I can see. Well, not secrets, revelations. Just get one of them legs sawed, but then I can position it. Right, just push that up. And get it straight. Okay, that's that one then. I have decided on that capacitor for the, well, I have sort of decided. I was going to stick with this one in. If it's not right, I can just change it out for another one, but this is just for the trigger on the oscilloscope. I'll stick that one in while I'm at it. It should be big enough. I've got to get them pins in as well. Right, we're going to get these pins in. One goes there. These are test points, by the way. One goes there. Actually, one of these is a bit cockeyed. Let me have a look. Which one is it? Oh, actually, it's not that bad. If I just warm it up and move it, it'll be fine. That one's got a bit of a dry joint on it. It's because these things these things will be lying around for God knows how long. Oh, quite a bit of solder on there actually. Do the other one. Dry joint again, because these pins are very old. I should have cleaned them actually. I never thought. They weren't that bad though. Let's check it. I'll just make sure that that's making a good connection on the meter. So test between there. Oops. Yeah, and this other test point, I'm sure that one's good too. They were a bit funny. Yeah, that's good. Right, all the test points are in I need really. Oh yeah, I don't need these anymore. The liquid soy sauce can go back in the box. That's what we used to call these, liquid soy sauce. These things. Well, I have got more capacitors to put in, but to be fair, the heatsink is going to run up between here and there, around here, and it's going to come down here. I think I'm just going to make the heatsink and do the rest of the capacitors a bit later on. Because the capacitors are on the edge of the board, they tend to get bent and knocked around, and these would get bent, probably knocked around. So I'm just going to do the rest of the capacitors after I've made the heatsink. So I'm going to turn my soldering iron off. You know, as you know yourself, electrolytics aren't exactly very tough. You know, you can damage them by bending the legs a lot, and I can clear some of this stuff away that I don't need anymore as well. Oh God, tripping over things. I need to have a bit of a clean up because I've got such a lot of stuff. These can go away, and these sockets can go away. I can put them in the box. So I've got the switches in now. I just want to make a bit of room. These are the extra regulators I've got. And those are the trimmers, they can go out of the way because I don't need those anymore. I've got them in the board. But I'll keep these capacitors out because, yes, I'm probably going to use these. And these PTC fuses can go in a safe place too. I just want to have a bit of a clean up. Because it's a forever ending getting things out thing until you start to put a few things away. I've got a text a while ago, I don't know who that was. I can't spell. again. Right, I need to get a heatsink made for this as well. This is what I was thinking about now. Because before I put the transistors in, I want to mark it off and trim it. Because the board is nearly finished now. All I've got to do basically is plug an IC in there and put the capacitors 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more capacitors, and that's it. And 2 transistors. Oh, by the way, I also superglue these plugs to the board. That's because if you just solder them and you tighten the screws, they tend to twist about on the board, and that can cause the pins to bend and break off. So it's always a good idea to superglue them to the board as well, so that when you're tightening the screws, the whole plug doesn't twist around, and the superglue just stops that from happening. And these don't budge now. Neither does that one. Oh, actually it does. That one's not superglued enough. Haha. Oh well, I'll take care of that. It's hasn't got enough underneath probably. Gotta be careful you don't get it on the screws. Friend who lives next door, he's got too thick. Right, I'll just catch up on the chat actually. I'm missing out. I need a sandwich actually. I'm going to go and grab a sandwich out the freezer, out the fridge. Right, so I have to find a piece of metal, part of my heatsink, sorry, my scrap stuff. I'll use that. And I'll find something that I can shape. I just want to cut some metal. It's really a question of finding the right piece that I can cut it out of. I'm not sure about this piece. If it's got enough that will go through the it's got enough to go through the bottom of there. That's actually not it's not going to be very good there. I don't know. I don't think I could. Maybe I could use that. But trim that bottom edge off. It's a bit, no, it's too narrow. This piece is too narrow. I'll go and find some other bits. Find something a bit thicker, I think. Right, this might work. Yeah, a bit of the metal that my laminations came in. I've got another piece here. This is what's left over from the lamination steel. I'm thinking of cutting a piece out of here. Yeah, actually that would probably work. This big chunk here. If I cut that out, I'm just going to shape it as I go along. It's got more depth to it. Trim the bottom off. I'm going to cut this whole piece out, then cut it to length the way I want it. No, I'm not using a ruler or anything, I'm just going by eye. For the moment. If I can get my cutter in there. I'm going to have to bend this a bit. I'll straighten out later. I'm going to leave them tabs on actually. They're useful. They will be very useful, especially if you line up. if they line up. If not, then I'll have to think of improvise or something. I wonder, would these bits fit through my cutouts? That's interesting, will it? That would be very useful if it does. Well, actually that one almost does. Look at that, down here. It actually fits in that cutout area. That's really handy. But the other one is not going to reach, so that's no problem. So what I'm going to do, you see, if there's no tabs going through the board, it doesn't matter. I can get another piece of metal and bond it on to make the connection through this slot. That's what I was thinking of doing, actually, having a little piece of steel going through, and yeah, that would also work. So this part wants bending about, well, I'm happy that that one goes through there. That's really useful. So I need to mark this off a bit. I'll get my red pen and the ruler, and I'll mark this on the edge of the board. Well, I'm going to chop this piece off. I'm going to put it slightly to the one side of the line anyway. So I'm going to cut that piece off down that line. That's that bit off. I think needs a little bit of straightening on here. For the moment, I've got some burrs, so I need to I'll get my board out of the way. Just want to get some burr. Just don't want to cut myself. I still haven't read the chat. Of course, at this present state the circuit doesn't need heat sinks, but what I'm saying is in the future, if I need to up the power on this thing, it will need a heat sink, and it's a lot easier to build a heat sink now than it is to do it later on. Right, I've got that located. Now this particular other tab, this other tab that's down here, isn't much use to me right now because it doesn't reach up here. But that one does. That's the main thing. And that's directly in line with the transistors as well. If you look at the footprint, transistor footprint there, directly in line, and it's clear of that diode, and that diode's connected to ground as well. This end, it's a protection diode this, so it's actually reversed. That's in case the power was ever connected the wrong way around. This diode would short the power and cause this fuse to trip, rather than damaging the IC or the transistors or these output transistors. That diode would short the power out, causing that fuse to trip. That is the reason for this diode here. Anyway, right, that's actually looks really quite good. I need to mark this out and get put a line exactly where I want to bend this end. I have to cut a notch out so that it actually goes over that resistor. So what I'll probably do is file a notch, file a little slot where the resistor is, so it can sit on the board. So it wants to be this side of these resistors. So what I'll do is I'll put this on there. I'm just going to put my ruler on here. I'm going to attempt to score that metal with my file. Wants to be right there. Now I should have got a mark on there now. I think I have. Yeah, that's the mark. Couldn't see it properly. It's not very strong, but I need to make that mark. A lot stronger. I'm actually using a file, so it makes it easier to see it. Right, okay, I'm just going to read chat a bit and see what's going on. Because this little bit here can come off, I don't need that. It's in the wrong place. Oops. I really need the other file actually, this one's a bit rounded. Yeah, that chat is getting longer and longer and I still aren't ready. Oh dear, what's the matter with me? Okay, I'm having 10-minute break. I might have to make more coffee. Oh, I don't know yet. It's cold. That's for sure. Is he actually going to go live again? Or maybe he's watching me while he's eating his tea. Actually, what time is it? Oh, it'd be after tea time, won't it? Yeah. In Zealand. I've seen that kind of circuit before that Chuck's doing. It's the sort of situation you might use in a radio circuit. damn, is he having trouble with his card again? Guess one's back again. I didn't hang around very long. Yeah, I'm looking at Z's chat right now. That guest guy came back again. Whoever it is. You know what, I'm going to make some more coffee and eat my sandwiches, but this piece of steel will make a good heatsink. It's actually bigger than the other one I've got on the other one. I have to cut some little notches out though to where the transistors, where this transistor is. I'm going to cut a notch like a bridge so that it actually doesn't interfere with that resistor. But the rest of them are fine. It'll be straight along the side. Obviously it's going to cover up the R numbers a little bit, but I'm not worried about that. Or I could actually cut a whole strip out and have this raised off the board a bit. That might actually be the best way of doing it actually. Yeah, cut a long strip off the bottom of this piece of steel. Leave a tiny bit for it to rest on the board. Then I'll have to add a bit on to go through there to lock it into the other side of this board there. But I have to bend it as well, so so while it's still flat, I need to go and get my sandwich, I'll tell you. While it's still flat like this, I'm going to actually draw a straight line. I'm going to cut a strip off, and that way I'll be clear of this resistor. So the amount that I need to cut, let's just measure it from there. Let me just draw a line on the circuit board so I know where I am. Right, from that point, I basically need to take it out from there. Take a bridge out of here. Yeah, I can leave the rest of it pushed through the board. I'll just take a chunk out of that area there, and it wants to go up to about here. So what I'm going to do, actually, it's going to, when it bends, it's going to be a bit shorter, so I'm going to go a little bit more. So I need to I'll get my ruler. I'm just going to mark this off. Actually, it'd be better if we go and get my square. Let me go and get my square thingy. Oh, the flipping magnets are still attached to it, I think. There we are. Oh well, it'll soon come off. My square was occupied with magnets. That's all gooey now. I think I better clean that, don't you? Where's my isopropyl alcohol? Tissue paper. Just clean this up a bit. There's super glue on there as well. Am I still live, or has it died on me? Can't tell, because no one's saying anything. Oh, maybe I need to open the chat or something. Oh right, okay, I can see the chat in the live stream. So, was it shoeless or not? No, it wasn't shoeless, no way. Nah. No, I didn't even know what the 3 P's were. Poot, Plock, Poodle or Pune. I asked him, is it Pune today? And he said he needs to go for a P. Well, he obviously has no idea what the 3 P's are, so it was definitely not Schubert. And there's other things that Schubert knows about that this little guy doesn't know about. Anyway, I think I've got that clean enough. Where's my... I've lost the lid off my blooming tins now. Where have I put it? Where's that gone? I'm always losing something. Oh, I found it. Right. I use my other file. Right. You know, I forget this, you know, but this is the engineering technique is to colour it in and scratch it. Maybe I should do that, it's easy to see it. Because it is hard to see it. Oh, that's better. I can see that better now. That is hard work. Oof, cutting that. Oof. It's not bad with a 0.8mm, 0.9mm thick steel, but you can't cut things much thicker. About 1mm. And if it gets too thick, you can't cut it with that. So. But he's still chatting. He's still chatting in IRC, you know. So I don't know if he's chatting over dinner or what. I'm still listening. Well, he said so about what? 50 minutes ago. There's a lot of stuff about this coil that. It's reading the chat. A lot of stuff about the coil that Chuck's working on. I need to get that corner broken. Don't like sharp corners. I need something to rest on. This is better. Rest on my solder thing. It's easy to hold. That's got a slight kink on the end. That's better. It's a lot easier to fire this while it's flat. Once I bend it, it will be harder to hold it. Right, so I need to take, actually I've been finding this edge and I need to take an edge off, a piece off here. So I need my square again. So I'm going to be taking, let's just colour that area in. It's up to this point, so I only need to go so far though. Well, when I bend that, it's going to be shorter, so I need to be actually over here. So I get this lined up. I don't need to take all of that off. I want to take a piece out of it, you see. That's the trick. That is the trick. And that is not straight. Right, so if I cut a notch out of here, and I'm just going to clear that resistor, you see, that's all. And take that out there, and I'm going to have to bend that with my pliers, because I can't cut inside there. So I have to bend this out with my pliers, or bend it right back, which is another technique. Straighten that. Doesn't have to be cut off, but see if I can, without it jumping on me, fold it right up. That's another way of doing it. Doesn't have to be cut out, but if I don't cut it out, it won't leave a sharp edge, you see, if I don't cut it out. And I'll see about bending it more. Could stick it in the vise and flatten it. Yeah, actually I'm going to do that. I'm going to take this to the vise once I get it bent enough, and I'm going to squish it. I should be able to get it a bit more with the pliers. Right, I'm going to go over to the vise and pinch that up, because that leaves a nice gap underneath. I need to take that burr off the edge before I flatten it though, because I won't be able to do it afterwards. Very easily. Right, I'm going to go over to the vise, squish this down. Won't be a minute. We'll see what it looks like when I come back. Yeah, sure, if it wasn't the middle of the night I'd hit it with an hammer, but okay, there we go. I folded that back so I don't have to file it, because it's I haven't lost any metal, and that will conduct heat as well. And now I just need to bend it down this line, and I think I'm going to do that in the vise as well. So that sits in like that, and I need to bend it right on this side of the line. Okay, I'll be back in a minute. I need my pliers. Well, I hope I've bent it in the right place because it's hard to see in there, it's a bit dark. And actually it's a bit off. No, actually it's not off because when I put a piece of metal on this side, it goes into that slot, it's going to be just right. So when I put a piece of metal down here, and I could either drill it, rivet it or whatever, but it's clear of that resistor. Look at from the back, you can see it's actually clear. The resistor's got a large opening there where it's not going to come into contact with that resistor. So I need to actually bend this a bit more, actually back up if I can. It's this corner at the top here, it's not quite. It's not as tight a corner at this end as it is at the bottom. I've got a real tight bend down there, but that's because of this bit missing. No worries, it's fine. The way around that will be to nip this up in the vise and bend it back a bit. But it's okay. I'll try actually manually. Yeah, that's good. That's alright. I just need to bend it back a bit. Right, okay. I've got a slight bow in that now. And the one thing I did forget before, you know, when I did the other one, was to put some Captain tape around here where this test probe is. So I'm going to actually remember to do that this time. I'm actually going to put some Captain tape on this heatsink in that place right now because I'll forget. Otherwise, it's just to stop that test point from when you put a clip on, it's to stop the clip from touching the earth point. So I'm going to mark that and mark it on the other side there. So I want a little bit of Captain tape around this piece here. I'm going to trim it off with a knife. There we go. Now that should clear the transistor. I need to trim that bit off. I use this as a ruler. because the heatsink insulation thing goes on that side. That's cleared. Need to clear the other side as well, so my captain tape's a certain thickness, so it was inevitable as it would overlap a little bit on each side, so slim that down now. That's that sorted out. Anyway, I want to have my sandwich. I make coffee. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a piece of steel down this side here that anchors into that hole. And what I can do, quite simply, is use a piece that's got a little round knobble bit on, and that's that. So what I'm going to do is cut this bit out here. Doesn't have to be perfect. It's got a nice rounded end on. I'm going to use this as my pillar. It needs flattening a bit. Probably going to have to file that a bit, but I think super glue will hold it together. It's going to drop into that slot, but I probably need to raise it up a bit. Actually, there's no reason why this has to be connected directly steel to steel. I could actually just put a little bit of packing under there. All it is really is to hold this from twisting. As long as it seats on the board, that's the main thing. I'll see actually about best way of doing it. I have got some rivets which I could drill this during the day and pop rivet it even. That's another possibility. I have a rivet gun. Might be the way. Make this too thick, too deep, and it would fit better. Yeah, actually I like that better. Do it too deep, two layers deep to make a little pillar thing. I'm gonna have to mark this. We'll see. I haven't fully decided yet. This is going to be hard to hold though once I cut this off, so I want to trim off that burr. Just get the burr on the edge. And cut that corner off as well. Right, I've got this little extra piece which will go around the side. I need to trim them corners off as well, I think. I don't like sharp corners, and I could file them a bit, but they're just so fiddly to hold this thing. Right. Me trying to move the whole board with that. So what I'm thinking of doing is gluing this together with super glue and then drilling it and pop riveting it all together. File this one as well. take them corners off here as well. I don't like sharp corners. This has to be cleaned now with with acetone. I need to squeeze it together actually to get it nice and flat. And what I'll do is I'll clean it with acetone, put it in the vise, and there'll be a little bit of a gap between it, and then I'll put some super glue down the middle, clamp it up, and it'll be really well stuck, hopefully. I need to roughen up one of these surfaces actually. I think I should do that. Ooh. It's not easy to hold. I need to use some emery paper, I think. That will work. Oh, he's coming back live. Oh no, he isn't. Is he? Oh, isn't he? I've seen a scroll bar movie. He must be going live. Yeah, I think he is. No, scrape this side. Yeah. Right, I'm going to put this on there. I'm going to put it in the vise and super glue these two pieces together.
Just need to get mic'd up here.
Yay! These back! I need my torch with me.
There. Alright, I'm all mic'd up now. Or you could voluntarily sign off and then back on again. Yeah. Dinner colloidal silver. Alan's taking his time. He must be writing it down before he logs off and signs back on again. All right then. Let's make a manifold. This piece of pipe looks just about the right length for this side. So I just need another piece of pipe about the same length for the other side. I've got some salt over here. Gourmet salt. Pure.
Right. That's nice and stuck together. I've had it in the vase. I think I clamped it at the bottom as well. Better done.
And then I've got this big ass container. A good way to do it, unless we built into your house or sign. Nobody's smart enough to access the building. I don't know, Alan's pretty slick.
So this I need to get this position on here.
There's my gourmet salt.
Need to clean this other half as well. I'm going to mark it off.
It's okay. I don't use that password for much anyway. That is actually one of my very insecure passwords. That one is only 8 digits long and a mix of numbers and upper and lower case letters. Most of my passwords are 10 and 12 characters long with a mix of numbers, upper and lower case, and special characters. The ones that I really care about. You're so funny.
Right, I need to end the stream in a bit because I'm going to watch C and it's kind of a distraction if you've got two streams going at the same time. What I have to do is clean this surface I'm going to clamp this in the vise as well. So I have to clean this surface now as well. Roughen it up a bit. I think actually I should hold it in the pliers, provided it's not going to break. Shouldn't do.
I've got a tooth bender that might actually work for this. I bought this when I was doing brake lines on my daughter's Maxima. This might actually do the trick. Yeah, look at that. These are nice. If you only need, you don't need a specific radius. I might be able to forego. However, this is only good for doing like right angle bends and the like. Yeah, that's exactly right. I think, actually, I could keep the bend going if I fed it around behind the handle. No, it's not going to go around behind the handle. Never mind. No, forget it. Bad idea. Forget I even said that. So you probably saw my tweet earlier. I don't know if we'll have anyone responding to that tweet by showing up to watch live, but we'll see. Or they might just show up at the page and watch live and not sign into the chat. So, for those of you who may have shown up to watch this live broadcast, feel free to join in the chat room. You do not need to be a member. You do not need a password if you're using an unregistered nickname in the chat room.
I need to glue this then, clamp it, because it's hard to see what I'm doing in there. I think this is clogged up. where's my tweezers?
This is a tool that I have to use far too frequently for my liking.
I'm just going to clamp it with my pliers and then put it in the vise afterwards.
Sorry about that. I will be making some grotesque noises tonight.
Right, I think I'm putting the vise now. I'll take some more glue as well.
Heck, is my house plumbing sucks, yeah. I am pleasantly surprised, however, to see that the copper tubing, the rolled copper tubing that they laid out in the foundation that comes up to the different various points in the house, I'm reasonably confident that that will not fail, like some of these smaller sections that were installed later on. At least that is my hope, because if it ever does, then it means breaking up the slab and replacing the copper pipes, or at the very least, I don't know if you can do this, but you might be able to line the pipes. You might be able to feed like a polypropylene tube through the center of a half-inch copper pipe. It wouldn't have as high of a flow rate, but generally speaking, it would probably be adequate. Send the snake down through and pull it through. Okay. I don't think I'm going to corrupt this particular SD card at this particular time, because I want to record this bending process. But I am going to reformat this card in the camera. Memory card, initialized only using camcorder. Yeah, I know. Thanks for reminding me. Initialize, there we go. Initialize memory card. Complete initialization.
Right, I'm going to turn the stream off. I'll just show you the thing before I do, because I'm going to go and get my food. I need to pop rivet this tomorrow, but it's alright, it's super glued for now, but I basically have to drill a hole all the way through here, put a pop rivet, and this will sit in there.
Put the salt away.
And so this is just the last update before I shut the stream down. It'll sit in there like that.
Wonderful.
And I thought, well, I don't even have to twist these really, as long as it anchors in them slots, because the transistors themselves are going to hold the whole thing down.
Alright.
But I mean, I can, if need be, put something in here.
You have that problem too, huh?
This one goes in like that. I can twist this one round to lock it. I could twist that one, but this one would probably break until I get the rivet in anyway. But the pieces of steel just sit in these little slots here. Stops the heatsink from moving around too much. And I've got to mark the holes for the transistors as well. So anyway, I'm going to end the stream for now. This is the progress we are at the moment. It's coming along quite well.
So Adirondacks, I don't know if you saw my comment earlier about the guest one who was in the chat room. But the reason I suspected he was Schubas is because it was the same IP as when you made the comment that it was Schubas testing his VPN.
Z's disappeared again. I don't know what's going on with the stream. Right, okay. Heatsink so far. I'll be back later.